Advisor of Icaa and Principal of Heritage Institute of Technology. Professor Dr. Shondeep Sen, Steering Committee Chair of Icaa and Professor of Ashoka University. Professor Dr. Bhargav B. Bhattacharya, Steering Committee Chair of Icaa and Visiting Professor of Ashoka University. Professor Dr. Amitabh Bagchi, General Chair of Icaa and Emeritus Professor, Department of CSE. Professor Dr. Dinobandhu Bhandari, Organizing Chair of Icaa and Professor, Department of CSE. Professor Dr. Shubhashish Majumdar, General Chair of Icaa, HOD, Department of CSE and Dean of UG Program. I would request the esteemed dignitaries on dais to light the ceremonial lamp. Maybe seated first. I would now like to request Shri Prahlad Rai Agarwala sir and Shri Pradeep Agarwal sir to felicitate our chief guest, Professor Sanjay Paul. Request Professor Shobhik Bhattacharya to please come center stage and request us to please felicitate Dr. Bhattacharya. Thank you, sirs. I would now like to request Principal Sir Professor Bashok Chaudhary to felicitate Professor Bhargav B. Bhattacharya. Sirs, I would like to request Professor Dinabandhu Bhandari to felicitate Professor Shomdeep Sen. Thank you, sirs. We will begin the proceedings of the conference with the welcome address to be given by the ICAA 2025 General Chair, Professor Dr. Shubhashish Majumdar. Dr. Majumdar is the head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at HIT Kolkata and the dean of the UG program here. He has over 7 years of experience in the industry, over 21 years of experience in academics, and has also founded a technology startup. He has taught at multiple places, including ISI Calcutta, Jadavpur University, Indian Association for Cultivation of Science, and Ashoka University as a visiting professor. Sir, I invite you to give the welcome address for the ICAA 2025.
Sri Polnath Agarwala, Chief Guest, Dr. Sanjay Paul, Professor Sanjay Paul, Act. Guest of Honor, Professor Shomi Bhattacharya. Invited speakers, Professor Bhargavi Bhattacharya and Professor Shandeep Sen. Dignitaries on and off the dais. My dear faculties, my dear students, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this conference, this international conference. International Conference on Applied Algorithms, ICAA 2025. This is in fact the second conference in this queue, but the last one was quite far back. And we decided to start this a little bit late, but with the help of the organizing committee and the sheer spirit of the faculties of CSE and allied departments, with the support of the management, we could make it happen. There will be a plethora of invited talks varied among domains, but all related to algorithms. And there will be very instigating papers which were carefully selected by the program committee, headed by three very well-known experts in the field, three program chairs. We accepted about 30 papers out of about 100 submissions. The precise acceptance ratio is about 32%. Not to mention that acceptance percentage, but the idea is, what I wanted to say is, uh, we didn't have to choose very hard, but still there was a quality control that was carried out by the three program chairs, and I hope you will enjoy the papers. I expect that in the coming days, it will give you ideas to start a new research or help in your research that you are doing. And more importantly, it's a wonderful opportunity for our students to learn from this experience. I attended my first international conference only after joining the industry. But here we have students from even first year and second year getting a chance to attend a full international conference. This is really an opportunity. We have our ex-director, Professor Poira. Thank you, sir, for coming. Thank you for accepting our invitation. It's an honor to see you. And now, the main idea is, I will be very brief. You have many instigating lectures, many illuminating lectures to come up today. But basically, what we would say is, we have decided to continue this conference either on an annual basis or a biannual basis. And the next version is going to be more elaborate. We are going to start much earlier than this year. And I have a plan that we will have a two-cycle review process where you will have a chance to give a rebut. And hopefully we'll have another very great version next year. I actually invite you in advance for the next one also. It is going to even match with our 25-year of this great institute, Heritage Institute of Technology. The last thing I would say is, please enjoy. Those who have come from outside, please let us know if you need anything. Heritage has been a place for great hospitality. At the end, I would say it's an honor to be a general chair for this conference. I thank all the authors who submitted. I thank all the program committee members, and especially the organizing committee headed by Professor Dinobandhu Bhandari and the young set of faculty members and TAs who really made this possible today. Thank you.
Thank you for your address, sir. I would now like to invite our ICAA 2025 advisor and principal, sir, of Heritage Institute of Technology, Professor Bashok Chaudhary. Our principal, sir, is a chemical engineer by profession. Earlier, he was registrar of the University of Calcutta and was vice chancellor of the West Bengal State University, Barasat. A Fulbright Nehru Scholar in academic administration, he did his postdoctoral research in the Netherlands, in Seattle, USA, and in South Korea. Dear sir, I request you to address the August gathering.
Morning to all of you. It is nice seeing you on that side before a dais that is loaded with intellectual sagacity. We have the best of people in the field of computer science and engineering. And in order to save time, I am not taking names individually, but they are all luminaries who had been or have been either in the best of institutes in this country or abroad, and they have accepted our invitation and kindly come over here to deliver lectures in this particular conference, which is International Conference on Applied Algorithms. And Professor Shubhashish Majumdar, my esteemed colleague, has given you a brief of the conference. We have our chairman, Sri Prahlad Rai Agarwalaji, who is the chairman of the Board of Governors, and also the chairman of Icaa Industries. And before him, we are starting the conference. We have started the conference by lighting the lamp. Any conference is not only for the dissemination of knowledge, but also to take stock of the past, to understand what lies in the future, and to chronicle, to put everything in the form of a proceedings. And that is what this conference wants to do over the next 3 days. Heritage Institute of Technology, Kolkata, is an institute that was established in the year 2001 with the help and patronage of 22 industrialists who wanted to create a good institute, a great institute of technology and engineering in this part of the country. During that time, as you all know, there were not many engineering colleges of repute, and gradually with time, and the founder, Professor Poira, is also here in the audience, with the help of so many people, with the help and patronage and advice of so many good teachers and professors who are still with the institute and trying to improve the teaching and learning process and giving the support, have developed this institute, and this institute has come to this level. We have at the present moment the Chief Executive Officer, Sri Pradeep Kumar Agarwal, who is continuously trying to give his thrust and his impetus to take the institute forward. And we are all doing that, and that is what we are. The subject, applied algorithms, I have no right to speak on that. When I did my computer programming, there used to be two things. One, I remember do loop, and the other is continue. So the point is, if you ask the machine to do, it will do automatically, and it will continue to do unless you ask it to stop. So that is what I learned about computer. Gradually at Fortran, and used to do card punching. I remember I have done that. Now with time, gradually, as we hear from Jeffrey Hinton, that it has come to the stage where he is even saying that in the next 2 decades or 3 decades, there is a possibility that humanity will be challenged by the machine. We do not know how. But when I try to understand this, two things come to my mind. One is the sun, where the fusion reaction takes place, and we have not been able to mimic that. Fusion reaction takes place. Temperature is of the order of 6,000 degrees centigrade. Hydrogen is continuously going to become helium, and huge amount of energy is continuously being passed onto the universe. And that is a self-sustaining reaction, and no one can stop. Interesting. No one can stop for good of us. 25 or 30 years ago, I have seen under the microscope a very interesting chemical reaction, biochemical reaction. And that biochemical reaction is something like this. You start with one molecule, and that molecule grows. And when it becomes 24 molecules, automatically it starts beating. And with that beating, you hear some sound. And that is how artificial heart is formed. At the time, stem cell research is going on. Innocuous molecule, inert molecules, you do not know, but the cell organization creates certain things and it starts beating. And I have seen in my own eyes, and I could not believe. The person was in some foreign company in US, and he showed the experiments in the University of Calcutta. I was a teacher there, and I was seeing the experiment, and I was getting flabbergasted. I was getting astonished with the kind of experiment that he was doing. So the sun over there, the experiment over here, and in between, I do not know what will ChatGPT do, what will artificial intelligence do, but I feel that at some point of time, the machine learning will come to a stage where the commands that you are giving will do certain things among themselves and produce certain results. which will be of the nature of exponentiality. Anything that is exponential has a chance to take over. Anything that is exponential goes beyond your control, and there is a possibility, as Jeffrey Hinton is saying, and another scientist also 2 days ago, I found his interview, and everyone is becoming very very worried that unless there are laws and technological laws done by the government, it will be difficult to control the way things are going. But let us not talk about control. Let us talk about the creativity. Let us talk about the innovations. And this is where the challenge for the teachers and professors is. What is the challenge? The challenge is about innovation. The challenge is about creativity. Yes, sometimes creativity becomes so very difficult that it has a chance to destroy. Atom bomb history is known. Manhattan Project is known. Feynman's experiments are known, and many many other things are known, and we have seen. We have read. We have not seen. We have read. Even 4 years ago, we have seen what COVID can do. That the innocuous molecule virus, no one thought about it, but it has totally taken over the humanity in such a way that you never know what it can do. But the point is, even there is research with virus, there is research on bacteriophage, there is research on bacteria and things like that. So it will continue. The research on artificial intelligence, machine learning, and applied algorithms that are changing the world. Finally, I would like to say whether we should be afraid of the machine or not. Look into the use of pacemaker. Look into the use of cochlear implants. Look into the insulin distributor in your body depending upon the sugar level. And all these are basically machine that is coming into human body, and it is changing the humanity. It is changing machine. Man is becoming machine. Whether it will come to that stage where it will take the level, go to the level of consciousness. That is the kind of thing that we will see. And for my good students over here, this is the chance to hear all the professors who are sitting over here, who are really brilliant in their work, who have been brilliant in their work, not 1 year, not 2 years, but for decades. They have contributed to the teaching and learning process in the area of computer science. They are here today before you, and they will deliver the lectures over the next 3 days, and you are getting a chance to talk to them, to interact with them, and to be like them, because as you go in your life, you will always require a role model. You want to be like someone. And here is a chance that you will get someone whom you may like to follow and create your career in future. That is the purpose of education. That is the purpose of continuity. And Heritage Institute of Technology stands for this continuity, stands for the propagation of knowledge and dissemination of knowledge. So with that, I pay my respect to all the dignitaries over here who are sitting, great professors. I'll pay my respect to my chairman who is sitting over here. I'll pay my respect to Professor Shobik Bhattacharya, with whom I had the privilege of working for some time in this institute. And I will pay my respect to my classroom teacher, Professor B.B. Poida. And I will pay my respect to all my students, because as I say, Pitridevo Bhavo, Matridevo Bhavo, Acharya Devo Bhavo, Chhatro Devo Bhavo. You are my students and you are my God also. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for enlightening us, sir. We are privileged to have with us Shri Prahlad Rai Agarwala. Shri Agarwala is the Chairman, Board of Governors, Heritage Institute of Technology, Kolkata, and is also the Chairman of the renowned Rupa Industries. The Government of India conferred on him the national honor Padma Shri for his contribution to the country. Sir, please share a few words with us.
ladies and gentlemen, on this chilly January morning in the year 2025, I stand before you all. I'd like to wish you Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of you. Before I say a few words about the conference, let me generally tell you about my own experience in the fast changing world of engineering and technology. Take, for example, greeting cards that were printed even a few years ago, and now they are all digital. Their receiving and transmission have been so very easy through WhatsApp. You do not find cassettes and compact discs any longer. YouTubes have made life so simple, connecting with professionals through LinkedIn has been remarkably easy. The Government of India's initiative of Icaa has reduced waiting time at the airports. Planning of place to places of interest has been so tractable through Make My Trip. All these have been possible through technological activity using internet. And then post-COVID, the teaching learning ecosystem has undergone changes that were not thought about even 5 years ago. Right? So far as hardware are concerned, gone are the days of large desktops and larger servers. Now, thin laptops do wonder in minutes or seconds. The mobile connectivity in the remotest villages of this country has been possible. Swiggy, Zomato, Ola, Uber were not heard of even a few years ago. Now they have been part and parcel of our life and living. The banking industry has undergone such a great transformation in just a decade because of adoption of new technology. The filing of income taxes and getting back additional paid taxes happen clicks. I sometimes feel that we are in a wondrous land and technology where you desire it and you get it. Where you desire it and you get it so fast. Now we have come to a stage when machines will be learning on their own through some intelligent algorithm and artificial intelligence will change our experiences more. I do not know the extent to which such changes will make our life and perception different. It is necessary to take stock of all these, and that is why my institute, Heritage Institute of Technology, Kolkata, is organizing international conference on applied algorithm from January 8 to January 10, 2025 at the Heritage campus. I learned that the conference will feature invited talks by distinguished speakers from different countries, and there will be research paper presentation by participants. The conference proceedings will be published by Springer Verlog in the lecture notes in Computer Sciences LLCS series. These are great news to me, and I wish all of you associated with the conference a spectacular success. My thanks are due to the principal, the CEO, and other colleagues with whom I interact more often. particularly the meetings of the Board of Governors. I have all along spoken on research and development and their disseminations, and I am pleased to see that this is happening at HITK more regularly. Time and tide wait for none, and so is technology that transforms life and society so drastically and sometimes disruptively. Please remember, change is the only constant. Therefore, my advice will be ride the crest of the change and move on. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. We are honored to have Professor Shobhik Bhattacharya as our guest of honor today. Professor Bhattacharya is a distinguished academic with a career spanning research, administration, and leadership in higher education. He has served as Vice Chancellor of Chalmers University and BITS Pilani as Dean and Deputy Director of IIT Kharagpur and faculty at University of Canterbury, New Zealand. His research contributions are evident in over 265 publications. Dr. Bhattacharya is a fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, the National Academy of Sciences, and the West Bengal Academy of Science and Technology. He is a recipient of the Distinguished Alumnus Award of Texas A&M University and the Outstanding Teacher Award of INAE. He is an alumnus of Chalmers University, University of Cincinnati, and Texas A&M University. Dear sir, we are eager to hear your address.
The stalwarts on stage and in the auditorium of leading computer scientists, you too feel bit dwarfed if you are not one of them. And I'm no exception. So with that, I put together some thoughts and let me share with you. From a standpoint of an institution builder and a general citizen, maybe what's happening around us in this. And this is a wonderful opportunity. So distinguished chief guest, Honorable Chairman of the Board, Professor Chaudhary, Principal, and conference chairs, esteemed delegates and speakers, industry partners, and of course, the bright minds for tomorrow. A very good morning. It's a delight. It's an honor to be here talking to you, and I really thankful. I'm thankful and grateful to the organizing team for giving this privilege. And I feel the timing of this conference is truly impeccable because this organization, this institute is exploring to embark on a journey to become a research university. So these exchanges, these interactions are extremely valuable as we get on with this journey. This conference, in my understanding, embodies the very spirit of this transformation that we are going to launch. Many believe, I think the experts will agree, that we are at an inflection point in the human history in some sense. And computer science is making inroads or branches of mathematics and information science and computer science, so to speak. They're making inroads into every walk of life, every science, every research, in many ways, as we see. It's disruptive to say the least. The algorithms, I use that word algorithms, we study and develop, they are no longer abstract concepts. So they are in a figure of speech, they are the invisible architects of our future. So every time I or you receive a personalized recommendation, we do, every day we do. Every time a self-driving car navigates complex traffic, every time medical AI assists complex systems in terms of diagnosis, we are witnessing the power of algorithms at work. That's the that's the power we are talking about. This conference reflects this reality through its carefully crafted tracks. I think the program chairs, general chairs, and program chairs, they've done an excellent job in that direction. These three tracks you are aware of, but let me talk about it a little bit. The discrete algorithms track, forming the theoretical backbone, the AI/ML track, representing the cutting edge of intelligent systems, and my favorite, the what seemed most pertinent to me, the industry applications track, where theory meets practice. Each track addresses crucial dimensions of algorithmic advancement. In my reading, from healthcare informatics to social network analytics to robotics and smart city applications, and so on and so forth. All the blocks of research. We are at a time if we consider the technological convergence that we all are witnessing, quantum computing pushing the boundaries of computational possibility, edge AI bringing intelligence to the smallest devices, and ML systems achieving what seemed impossible just a few years ago. Each advance demands increasingly sophisticated algorithmic approaches, and each challenge presents a wonderful opportunity for innovation. That's where us educators, people who facilitate education, institution building, that's where we have got to go to work. We are, without doubt, entering the most transformative era in computing since, I would say, the 1940s. Let's recall when Claude Shannon and Alan Turing laid the foundations of information theory. Of course, Claude Shannon's first name has become one of the popular LLMs today, and the convergence of advanced semiconductors, AI, and quantum computing, if you will, I'll describe this as the harmonious dance of the bits, the neurons, and the qubits. Uh, Promises more dramatic advances in the next 5 years. That's the prediction, that's the focus, than what we have seen in the past half century. Imagine this. Next 5 years will do more than the past 50 years. Then there is more. The CEO of OpenAI just announced that as if AI was not disruptive enough, for us, the educators, the advent of an artificial general intelligence, AGI, is on its way. And Sam Altman has mentioned very recently that by end of 2025, this year, uh, there will be the first AGI agents joining the workforce. So that's little interesting. Um, um, that's a little interesting development that's going to be more disruptive for us common citizens, and probably more work for us educators and institution builders to organize things differently so that our students are able to do and produce their skill sets and demonstrate their abilities out in the world in the industry. Um, Now, one of the traits of this renaissance, if you will, is that work is being done in much more collaborative manner today compared to yesterday. Today, the industrial labs, we have some of them present here, the academic institutions, the government agencies, and the philanthropic organizations. They are joining forces, thankfully. They are joining forces, creating an unprecedented ecosystem of support system and ecosystem for innovation. So tomorrow's breakthroughs will probably not emerge from isolated efforts, but from the symphony of diverse capabilities working in synchronicity from all these agencies, from all these support systems. As Heritage Institute of Technology embarks on this exploring this journey as a research university, To me, this gathering holds profound significance. We envision a future where collaborative networks will drive groundbreaking advancements in computing. I encourage each of you to embrace these days, these 3 days, not merely as a conference, but as a catalyst for forging enduring connections, discovering potential collaborators, and envisioning how your unique contributions will shape this exciting new chapter for this organization. Let me also emphasize, as an educator, also emphasize on another significant aspect. The insights and breakthroughs we discuss here must find their way into our classrooms. This is an imperative, this is not a choice anymore. Let's go beyond research to nurturing the next generation of innovators. Let's integrate cutting edge algorithmic advances into our UG and PG curricula. This way, we ensure that today's students, who will be tomorrow's researchers and industry leaders, they begin their journey at the frontier of knowledge. This synthesis of research and education creates a powerful feedback loop that accelerates both discovery and learning. Wish you all 3 exciting days of insights, discussions, and collaborations emerging from this gathering of brilliant minds. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And before we move on, I would like to request our esteemed dignitaries on stage to kindly inaugurate the booklet for ICAA 2025. Thank you so much. It is our privilege to have with us Professor Sanjay Paul as our chief guest today. Professor Paul is the executive director of Rice Nexus, a center of excellence opened by Rice University, which focuses to incubate and commercialize rice intellectual property, have industry academia collaboration with a focus on sourcing industry AI problems, and spearhead on AI Venture Accelerator. He has also been the managing director of Accenture R&D globally, heading their R&D in systems and platforms, covering AI systems, digital twins, robotics, and 5G. Dear sir, thank you for being here with us today, and the stage is all yours.
Guests, most importantly, the brilliant minds of students and faculty in the auditorium. Good morning. I feel extremely privileged and honored to stand before you at the International Conference on Applied Algorithms and
we are standing at the crossroads of creativity and computing, where ideas become algorithms, and algorithms shape and reshape our world over and over again. Think about this for a moment. Any innovation that we admire, from self-driving cars to personalized healthcare to reusable rockets of the SpaceX, to myriads of applications on a mobile phone, to the rich gallery of AI applications, they all started with an idea, an abstract, fragile idea that has been given life by someone like you who is curious, who is courageous, who is actually willing to write code to bring it to life. So since this is a conference on algorithms, I want to stress the power of algorithms. In my mind, algorithms is nothing but the heartbeat of progress. Algorithm is something which drives our world, it amplifies human potential. The algorithms are the silent architects of the modern world, starting with optimization of the supply chain, to the securing of communications, to unraveling the mystery of the nature. So these are all algorithms, but there is one secret. Algorithm is not just a technical construct. In my mind, algorithm is a stories. Algorithm is puzzles. Just like stories tell you, go step by step to give you a theme. Similarly, algorithms go step by step to solve the problem. So I think you understand that algorithms are nothing but stories. So the way I want to present this to you, that you as researchers are not just mathematicians, not just engineers, but you are the storytellers of the digital world. That is much bigger than being an engineer. You are empowering the world, you're telling stories through your algorithms. So if you think about the world today, today's world, the era that we live in, is hungry for solutions. It's important that there are many problems which are existential in nature. We talk about climate change. Climate change requires a smarter grid. We talk about personalized healthcare that is crying out loud for breakthroughs in diagnostics and treatments. We talk about education. We need personalized education to reach every corner of the world, to reach every human being. And end of the day, it's society, which is very complex, and it requires fairness, it requires inclusivity in every line of work. Now, if I think about the world which we lived in years ago, so that world was very different in the sense that we did not have much compute power, we did not have many tools. But today, the tools that you have at your disposal is amazing. I remember we writing code starting from scratch. Today, nobody writes code from scratch. You start writing right on the shoulders of giants. You have libraries, you have building blocks on which you write code. We have to start from the ground. You start from the 48th floor to build above there. So that's an amazing change. That's the power you have in your hand. Computing power, I'm sure many of the distinguished guests here will agree with me that when we started coding in the mid-80s, we coded in IBM 360, which required a room like this to be housed. Room like this to be housed in IBM 360. We used punch codes. We had, the computing power of the entire computer was less than what you have in a cell phone. So computing power has gone up by millions of times. I give you a simple implication of that. The general standard of cryptography in the United States and rest of the world was DES, Data Encryption Standard. And DES used the 56-bit key. So the problem was with 56-bit key, it was impossible to try out all the keys to find out, to decrypt a solution. And that required months because the computing power was less. But today, with this computing power, you can track days in seconds. So now people have to think of, hey, how can I make days more secure? So go to triple days, increase the size of keys, and so on and so forth. So I'm saying that because of computing power, things are changing dramatically. You can do controls in real time. I'm from Houston. I work with NASA very closely. Now they use systems in real time to control the trajectory of spacecrafts. So this is possible because of the computing power, because of the way in which things can move so fast. So what I'll tell you one thing, that with great power comes responsibility. I give you a gun, but then you have to be careful you don't shoot. I give you nuclear power. That doesn't mean that you can actually nuke the world. There is responsibility. Similarly with algorithms, you have responsibility. You don't just create algorithms, you just ask, does the algorithm serve everybody? Is it inclusive? With algorithms, you ask a question, not just can I solve the problem? The question is, should I solve the problem? It's important that you think about it. You use your brains, your creativity in a very constructive manner. The next thing I'd like to say is with algorithms, since we're talking algorithms, algorithms are the powerhouse for innovation. But innovation is very messy, it's very complex. Having myself, if I may call myself an innovator, I started my innovation journey at Bell Labs in 1992 after my PhD. And my advisor at that time, my department head, Dr. Nick Maximchuk, myself, and Stephen Lowe, he's a well-known faculty at Caltech today. We came up with what is called anonymous credit card. That's the first patent that we got in 1994. We got the best paper award from Icaa in transactions networking. And we're very proud of that. But that took us a long time. We came up with the algorithm, tweaked it, changed it, threw things away because we wanted it to be perfect. So all I'm saying is when you come with innovation, failure is a given. You take failure as your trainer. You learn from your failures. Most of the breakthroughs don't come perfect, don't come from perfection. They come from persistence. So be persistent. Don't give up. Don't let anybody tell you that your ideas are too small or your dreams are too big. Don't listen to them. Just follow your hearts. And we believe that the world needs your brilliance, world needs your passion, world needs your energy. And finally, I'd like to say that many of the problems that we see in the world today are very complex, very fast. It's not possible for one person to solve it or even one nation to solve it. If you look at climate problems, and many of the people are looking for a cure for cancer, cure for Alzheimer's, these are difficult problems. It's not possible for one person or even one nation to solve it. You need collaboration. So you collaborate with people, you share your ideas, share your thoughts, share your insights, and that will help you move mountains. And in the sense of computing world, I'll say that will help you reduce your complexity from order of n squared to order of n log n. So finally, I leave you with the thought that the most important algorithms in the world of the future do not exist yet, but they are in your mind, they are in your hands, they are in somebody's hand to code and bring it to life, and that someone could be you. So remember, the future is not written in stones, but future is written in code. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights, sir. We now come to the vote of thanks. I invite Professor Dr. Shubhali Dutta to deliver the vote of thanks. Dr. Datta has more than 25 years of experience in academia and industry in the United States of America, Singapore, and India. He currently heads the Department of PhD Data Science at the Heritage Institute of Technology. Sir, over to you.
Morning, all of you. So, as the saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a college and beyond to host a great conference. As we commence our conference today, I have the pleasant duty to offer a vote of thanks to all those who have graced the start of ICAA 2025. To the chairman of the Board of Governors of HIT, Sri P.R. Agarwala, sir, thank you for your vision and leadership. To the CEO of KBT, Sri P.K. Agarwal, sir, thank you for your continuous support and encouragement. To the principal of HIT, Sir Ashok Chaudhary, sir, thank you for inspiring us continually towards academic excellence. To the guest of honor, Professor Shomi Bhattacharya, sir, thank you for sparing your time to be with us today and sharing your words of wisdom. To the chief guest, Professor Sanjay Paul, sir, thank you for bringing your global perspective to our gathering. To our esteemed guests, Professor Bhargav B. Bhattacharya and Professor Shandeep Sen, sirs, thank you for guiding us in this journey of hosting this conference. To our very own Professor Amita Bagchi, Professor Dinabandhu Bhandari, and Professor Subhashit Majumdar, sirs, thank you for being the engines in this conference. We also thank the members of the program committee and the reviewers of the manuscripts. Special thanks to all members of the HIT administration, finance, media science, systems, campus administration for making sure that we are here today. A lot of work has gone on in the background. A conference is in a sense like an iceberg. You see only 10% of it on top, 90% at the bottom. And we look forward to 3 very exciting days coming up. And finally, a conference is only as good as its audience. So thank you all very much.
So much, sir. I would request Corda sir to please come on stage for a group photo before we move to tea. Please, sir. Thank you so much. This brings us to the conclusion of the inaugural session. We will break for tea now. Please assemble here at 11:25 a.m. for the first invited talk. Principal of Philippine Institute of Technology. Thank you.